Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fitness Fridays. My name is Annie Long, and I am an Associate Director of Community Programs at the Parkinson's Foundation. I am so excited to be here with all of you guys today. Before we get started, I would like to just make a few housekeeping announcements, especially for those of you guys who may be joining us for the first time today. We will, of course, begin in just a few moments. I would like to remind all of you guys, we will keep you on mute during today's session. This is really just so that everybody can hear our instructor, which is, the most important thing today. You will also be able to see the instructor, and we would like to see you. So if you're comfortable with it, please do turn your cameras on so that we can see our amazing community exercising together. If you have questions or comments, you can certainly post those into the chat, and my colleague will get back to you as soon as possible on any questions that you might have. And then in order to see our featured instructor today, make sure that you select Speaker View in the top right-hand corner of your Zoom viewing panel. This will enable our instructor to be kind of front and center on your computer, as opposed to seeing a bunch of little squares on your screen. So make sure you select Speaker View. I also want to remind everybody that the Parkinson's Foundation, in collaboration with the American College of Sports Medicine, came out with Parkinson's exercise recommendations. You can actually download a copy of these recommendations directly from our website. If you go to parkinson.org/exercise, you can actually find our Parkinson's exercise recommendations. We encourage you to use that as a guide as you continue on your exercise journey. I also want to remind you, again, for those of you who are new, every Friday we release a new fitness video. Again, this month, we've been so fortunate to have Dr. Michael Braitsch from Tribe Wellness. Dr. Mike has been, he's already submitted several videos for us, which you can find on our website. But typically, we also do a live fitness class. So make sure, if you have not registered for these Fitness Fridays, that you do so that you get email reminders. Our next live class is going to be February 17th. And we're really excited about that. It's going to be brought to us by dualtaskforparkinsons.com. So it's going to be a fun, somewhat different class. We're going to be looking at improving movement, voice, and cognition, all in one live class. So definitely check that out. Okay, so now without further ado, we are going to go ahead and see a quick video by Lisa Hoffman, who is in our professional education department, and Lisa was instrumental in the Parkinson's exercise recommendations. So without further ado. Oh, and we're going to pause the video for just a moment because we have no sound. So let's try that again. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. The video is great. I'm sure those of you guys who joined us in 2022, you've seen this video several times, but it's always worth having a little
medicine. These recommendations provide guidance to help people with Parkinson's maintain or improve their health through physical activity. These guidelines were developed and reviewed by a panel of exercise and Parkinson's experts and include recommended frequency, intensity, time, type, and in addition to volume and progression of exercises that are safe and effective for people with Parkinson's. These recommendations are created across 4 domains: aerobic activity, strength training, balance, agility, and multitasking, and stretching. Each Friday, you will be guided through an exercise routine that highlights one or more of the domains of exercise. But typically, exercise does not fit perfectly in a specific column. Rather, they are complex activities that cross over from column to column. In addition to regular exercise, the Parkinson's Foundation encourages you to see a physical therapist specializing in Parkinson's, for full functional evaluation and exercise recommendations. And remember, safety first. We encourage you to exercise during on periods if you're taking medication, and to have someone with you if needed. Lastly, it's important to modify and progress your exercise routine over time. Participating in Fitness Fridays is one way that you can reach your weekly goal of 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise per week. For more information, visit parkinson.org/exercise. From there, you can also check out the Parkinson's exercise recommendations, which are now available in various languages, including Spanish, French, and German. Enjoy your exercise class today, and rest assured, you will be led by skilled and competent exercise professionals who have specifically designed their class to meet your unique needs. Have fun and go for it.
All right, thank you, Lisa, for that great introduction. So now, without further ado, grab your water if you don't have any water, and it's now my pleasure to introduce today's featured instructor, Dr. Michael Braitsch with Tribe Wellness. Dr. Braitsch is a physical therapist. He founded Tribe Wellness in 2017. And not only does he teach classes in Richardson, Texas, but also teaches classes online. So if any of you guys are in the Texas area and you're looking for physical therapy or in-person classes, definitely reach out to Mike and his team. Otherwise, you can visit their website, which we'll put in the chat, to learn more about their virtual programs. So thank you so much, Dr. Braitsch, for being here, and we're excited about today's workout.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. I'm Mike Braitsch. I'm a physical therapist in Texas, and I'm thrilled to be here with you because we're going to do some boxing. I love boxing. I know the Parkinson Foundation loves boxing. And I'm fortunate because I got to do it as an amateur before becoming a doctor of physical therapy, and now I get to do what I love. So let's start warming up. All you're going to need today, I've got a punching bag, but you won't need one. All you need is a few feet of uncluttered space where you're not going to trip over anything, and hopefully some energy and enthusiasm. And if you're in a chair, I'll ask that you simply try as much as possible not to slouch back and lean into the back of the seat, but to instead work on upright postural control by engaging that core. Why don't we start out simply, though, with just some big shoulder rolls. We're just warming up a little bit. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I love about boxing fits in those recommendations, those exercise activity guidelines that were showcased just a moment ago. Let's change directions. And it really does a nice job for a number of things. One, with boxing, we get to work on intensity, and we know intensity of exercise is linked to a whole cascade of benefits for people with Parkinson's. We can turn side to side just a bit, nice and gently. We know that intensity also helps improve key hormone levels in your brain, like BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, and VEGF. BDNF is linked with slowing the progression of symptoms. VEGF helps keep the vasculature in your brain springy and healthy and effective. But a lot of folks that come here to the tribe and do boxing with us say sometimes it's just fun to hit stuff and not even think about the science of any of it. If you've got any shoulder pain today, for our next warm-up, just let your arms hang. We're going to do some side bends. If it doesn't hurt, why not reach overhead? We're just doing a little bit of a gentle warm-up. And I'll ask that since I'm not there with you, if anything hurts, hopefully you'll stop. And we can try to modify stuff. I'm going to try to call out a lot of modifications for you. Let's try the other way, side bending. And you might say, well, hey, is there any research that backs what we're doing with boxing? And I'll tell you, there's a growing body of it. And when I started 6 years ago, there wasn't. And I'm lucky we got to publish some research where we found all kinds of benefits for people with their activity tolerance, which kind of makes sense if you're doing any aerobic exercise. You can hang on to something for our next warm up and do some high knee marching, really focusing on letting the knees down with good control, not letting them flop down, but controlling it. Or if you're in the chair, you can just keep the head up and back up and march still in place. We also found with our research that we've had published in the Journal of Neurorehabilitation and with some poster presentations even at the International Parkinson and Movement Disorder Society, really cool benefits have come with boxing training with regards to dual task training, which is critical for balance. I talked about it in our recording for balance and core class last week, but a lot of folks I see here in therapy, their balance is great if they're just going straight on. Let's kick back now. Try not to kick anybody, or if you have a pet nearby, hopefully you're mindful of where it is. But it's nice to be able to have the brain process two things at once so you can balance better while you turn or while you get distracted by somebody walking by. There are a whole slew of benefits. You're probably not here for a talk on it. I've got a bunch of recorded ones I can send you if you want. You're probably here more to do. And let's do a little bit more warm up and we'll get going here. So our next warm up, we're just going to kick the heels up and in a bit. Hopefully this helps loosen up your hips a bit. Again, you can do this one from a chair. I'm hanging on to something just to show you that's an available option. If your balance feels great, do what feels good for you. As you know, with any exercise program, the challenge is how can you consistently do it? And a lot of times people will say, well, what's the best exercise for Parkinson's? And what I love about what the Parkinson Foundation is doing with Fitness Fridays is you're seeing the best kind is the kind you'll do consistently and safely. So I'm going to try to shut up about science now. I'm going to try to dial it back with regard to symptom management, although I could talk your ears off about it. What we're going to do now is we're going to do just some quick basics on boxing in case you've never done it. And then we'll work a few rounds in of activity and hopefully you have a ball. If you're standing, probably the most important thing to figure out first is your stance. We call our group Paws Boxing Club because in traditional boxing, your dominant hand, in this case, right hand for me, is your back hand. So you've got your right foot back, left foot forward. And that's because you can transfer a lot of power. We call our group Southpaws because a southpaw is a lefty. A right-handed stance is for what's called an orthodox fighter. And since we're fighting for function, we train both sides of the body, but we're unorthodox. So we call it Southpaws Boxing Club. Anyway, for your stance, I want your feet a little bit wider than hips width, one foot a little bit forward, the other foot a little bit backward. And I want you to try to keep your head up and back up throughout. It's easy to lean, and I want you to fight that urge. And then one key in the ring and one key for fighting Parkinson-related postural impairments is to keep those hands up. So throughout our class today, I'm going to remind you, get those hands up because it's easy to get caught up in the moment and leave the hands down, but that also leaves you leaning. In the ring, you'd get knocked out with that. For Parkinson symptom management, you just don't have that cue to be upright. Anyway, here's some more basics. Our front hand, if we've got the left foot forward, the left hand's a little bit more out in front, the right hand's a little bit more in back, we're going to jab off the front hand. And the jab is a straight punch. It's a disruptive punch. I'll give you a side view here. It's a nice reaching punch. And it's great for us to use because it's easy with problems with the basal ganglia to end up with shorter, more automated, rapid punches. But we want this big reaching jab. In the ring, we do it to keep an opponent at bay. And for us, we do it for good functional reach. So that's our first punch of the day, the jab. It comes off the front hand and it's a big straight punch. The next punch we'll do with the backhand. It's also a straight punch. It's called the cross. And with the cross, you want to take your weight and shift it onto that front leg, turning your hips a bit. And the reason for that is all of a sudden, instead of boxing being primarily just your arms, you're getting your whole body involved in your cross. So if you've never boxed before, you might just try shifting the weight and turning those hips just to see how that feels. And if you feel like you've got the hang of it, well, then you can float that backhand out across the body and pull it back, out and back. And I feel like in the many classes I've led over time, people do a great job reaching it out, but sometimes don't bring it all the way back. So that's another key point to get into today. So we've got a jab with the front hand. We've got a cross with the backhand. I'm going to turn on some tunes. I'm going to turn on a timer, and we're going to do some variations of those moves. If you've got gloves, that's awesome. You're getting extra resistance. If you don't worry about it. Let me share my sound though. I'm going to hit play on this licensing free issues playlist of tunes. And I'm going to get our ring timer going here, people. So when the bell rings, we're going to start out throwing 5 jabs with the front hand, and we'll do more from there. Here we go. Hands up, heads up. Let's do this. You can face a bag, or you can face straight on. 5 jabs, front hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 crosses off the backhand. 1, 2, big weight shift. 3, 4, big reach. 5, and then we can jab cross. Front hand, backhand. We can do 5 of those. Jab cross, jab cross, jab cross, jab cross. One more, jab cross. Let's switch feet now. We got the other foot in front, so we're jabbing with the right now. 5 big jabs with the right hand. 5 big crosses with the left hand, so we're reaching off the back, turning those hips, turning them in, and really pulling them back. Every time we're keeping the hands up, keeping the head up and back up. Let's get crazy. Jab cross now. Jab cross, jab cross, jab cross, jab cross. One more jab cross. Let's switch stances. We're doing a 3-minute round. We're repeating the same pattern here. 5 big jabs at whatever speed feels good for you. If you're reaching big, 5 big crosses, and then jab, cross, reset with the hands up. 5 of them. 3, 4, 5, and switch. Again, if you're going faster, that's great. If you're going slower, that's great. As long as you're going, and as long as it doesn't hurt. And if you're having shoulder pains of any kind with it, try holding your hands a little bit lower. And then we'll do jab, cross. And you might say, now hang on a second, I'm counting. I'm trying to work through this combination. What's the value here? Well, this is how we can keep boosting the brain's ability to do multiple things at once, and we can get a good workout, getting our heart rate up. 5 big jabs, 5 big crosses. I'll tell you, for intensity, if you think about jab cross 5 times, if you think about a 0 to 10 spectrum, where 0 is like you just woke up from a nap, and 10 is kind of like your most intense pace you can't maintain. Hopefully during our session here today, you're somewhere between a 4 out of 10 and an 8 out of 10. I don't want you to overdo it. We're almost there. Hey, that's our round. We're gonna do a few rounds here today. You get a minute rest between rounds. We do 3-minute rounds. And I like to just keep moving between the rounds to keep things loose. But the bigger deal is taking a moment to check in with yourself and say, how hard am I going? We're hoping somewhere between a moderate to a low on the high end of intensity. So 4 out of 10 to 7 or 8 out of 10. If that round took you higher, it's time to dial back the speed. Go slow, you still get a good benefit. And that way you can build that consistent habit. This next round, we're gonna do something similar, but we're gonna add to it some footwork. So we all probably know how to squat, and if you're in a chair, you probably know how to kick. We're gonna throw 10 jabs. As we're doing it, I'll talk as we're doing it. 10 big jabs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 big crosses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we get to 10, I want you to do 10 squats or mini squats. And if you're in a chair, you can kick a leg out instead. And you don't have to squat crazy low, but try to keep those hips or those feet about hips width or a little wider. And try to really focus on standing all the way up. Music's a little slower than I thought, but it's okay. It's better than just hearing me talk in silence, I hope. After 10 squats, back to fighting stance. We're in the other side here. We're on the other side. We've switched our feet. 10 big jabs. Out and back, out and back, out and back, out and back. Every time pulling back to your face if you can. 10 big crosses. 2, 3, 5. Getting that hip turn going. We're trying to make each punch our best punch. And then we'll do 10 squats. You can hang on to something if you need to, or you can stand and have a ball with it. But we're trying to do 10. You know, squats, they're good for strengthening the legs. It's a great functional motion. We always like to say in our group, we've got a sweet tooth for squats. They're like candy to us. Hopefully they feel great to you. And when you've done your 10, switch stances and get back to it. 10 jabs, front hand. 7, 8, 9, 10 big crosses. Don't worry, we're cruising. We've got less than a minute left in the round. If you're feeling tired, that means you're working. But hopefully you're not overdoing, so slow down if you need to. And then we're going to do 10 more squats because we love them. There's no exercise that's better for getting on and off the toilet, in and out of the car, on and off the couch. Beautiful things, squatting. Back to it, big jabs. We got 15 seconds left. We're pushing. We're doing big reach. Great reaching techniques. Just a few seconds left. Good, good. Made it through another round, which is nice. How about keep those arms moving a little bit, gently opening up the chest while we catch our breath here between rounds. So you see, this is like with boxing training, we get a lot of intensity, but we get a little bit of a respite. Next round, I want you to do a little bit more leg strengthening. And we're gonna add a new punch. We're gonna add the hook. We can throw the hook off the front hand. We can throw the hook off the back hand. If it hurts your knees or legs, you can just reach it around like you're scraping the inside of a barrel. Or if you've got good pivoting skills, you can shift the weight, turn the hips, and get that whole body in the hook. Let's do 5 hooks with the front hand. 1, turning the hips. 2, turning back in. 3, 4, 5. We'll do 5 with the back hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can do 5 heel raises, calf raises, where we're pushing the heels up high and lowering down with good control. You might say, hang on, that's where I get cramps in my legs. And that's probably true for a lot of folks. And still, activating these calves is so good to keep steps big and lengthy. Let's get back to it with our hooks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 off the back hand. If it feels easy for you, really focus on turning those hips. Really focus on getting that pivot. We'll do heel raises again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switching stances again. 5 hooks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hooks backhand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more heel raises. Up high and down slowly. The slow lowering is the key to success with those heel raises, those sweet, sweet plantar flexors. You can get a little crazy and change the height now if you want. You can do 5 hooks from low to high, or you can keep going straight on. You can do 5 hooks from high to low, bringing some more intention to your movement and your punches. And more heel raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More hooks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that's too fast, don't worry. Go what speed feels good to you. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then more heel raises, of course, because we got to take in the finer things in life. You know what I mean? And having the ability to activate ankle strategies with strong calves, and having the ability to return fluid from the low leg up through the heart, through the venous system, get it all cleared out. It's a beautiful thing. We got a few seconds, see if we can get a few more hooks in. We did it. Look at that, we're 3 rounds deep in this party. Hopefully you feel great. It's Fitness Friday. I know I'm starting to really dig it with you. This next round, even though we have slow music going, I'm sorry about that, we're gonna pump it up, and we can start combining things, okay? So we like to do what we call an endurance round, which means we're gonna pick one punch and we're adding another repetition onto every time through the sequence. So I'll give you an example. Our combination this round is going to be jab, cross, hook. Our endurance punch is going to be the hook. So that means jab, cross, 1 hook. We'll start again. Jab, cross, 2 hooks. We're going to work our way up to 5 hooks and switch. Let's try it out. Jab, cross, 1 hook. Jab, cross, 2 hooks off the front hand. Jab, cross, 3 hooks. Jab, cross, 4 hooks. Turning those hips, feeling great. Jab, cross, 5 hooks. And you might say, man, I'm losing count. Don't worry. Switch stances after that. My coach used to say things like, nobody on the street's gonna say, hey, hang on, that was supposed to be a hook. 2 hooks here. Just keep going. 3 hooks. Jab, cross, 4 hooks. 2, 3. We're getting great rotation. 4. Jab, cross, 5 hooks. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll switch stances and get back to it. Jab, cross, 1 hook. Jab, cross, 2 hooks. Again, I'm going at the speed I'm going at. I'm hopeful. You'll go whatever speed feels great for you. I want you to work hard. I want you to feel a little challenged, but I don't want you to feel like, what's the point, man? And if it's getting too tricky, or you're getting too worn down, which happens to everybody, that's not just a Parkinson thing, you might simplify, go back to doing 5 of each. The point is, we want to keep going though. We've got 1:18 left in the round. So what that means is slow down if you need to, but keep moving. Jab, cross, 4 hooks up front. Jab, cross, even more hooks. Switching stances, so we get a lot of footwork switches. Jab, cross, 1 hook. Jab, cross, 2 hooks. In a traditional boxing gym, you would really just train one side of the body. But for us, we know life occurs on both sides of the body, doesn't it? So we want to get both sides. And on top of that, we know some people have one side that's a little bit more effective. Not true for everybody, but we know if you've got a side that's more affected, it's even more important to work that side so it doesn't get stiffer and tighter, and to give it more of your focus so that way you can feel some improvement. That's a beautiful thing. Keep going. We got just a few seconds left in this round. All right, we don't need to punch after the bell. That would be an illegal technique. So we can slow down our breathing, slow, deep breaths. And I want you to think here, if you've been going a little too high in the intensity spectrum, dial it back, okay? I'm targeting 4 out of 10 intensity, maybe an 8 out of 10 intensity on the top level. And we know consistency is what matters more than anything. So this next round, we're gonna get a little crazier. We're gonna add some knees. And you might say, hang on, I thought this was boxing. Knees are illegal. And that's true in the ring, but it's also really fun. So if you're seated, you can pick up a knee from your chair when we throw a knee. If you're standing, you might have something to hang on to if you need it for balance to get that knee up. But let's try jab, cross, knee. Go slow to start, get a few in us. Jab, cross, knee. And then we'll do it again. Jab, cross. Here's our second knee. And we'll do it again. Jab, cross. Here's our third knee. If you can reach up high with it, great. We're gonna do 5 on each side. So jab, cross. Here's our 4th knee. Jab, cross. Here's our 5th knee. And we'll switch stances. Jab, cross. 1 knee. Jab, cross. 2 knees. Jab, cross. You might hang on. Oh, I'm adding knees. We don't even need to do that this round. Jab, cross. Here's our 4th knee. Jab, cross. Here's our 5th knee. See, everybody makes mistakes, but you just keep going. Jab, cross. 1 knee. Jab, cross. Here's our 2nd knee. Bam. Jab, cross. Here's our 3rd knee. If you've got a punching bag, you might tap inner thigh on there. Jab, cross, jab, cross. Here's our fourth knee. Jab, cross, jab, cross. Here's our fifth knee. And we'll keep going. We'll switch stances. Jab, cross, jab, cross. First knee. If you want to start making it one of those endurance type of activities, you might just pick a punch or a knee to add one more onto each time through. Jab, cross, knee. I think I got one more here. Jab, cross, jab, cross. Here's a fifth one. And sometimes we'll mix it up in class too, and we'll say, hey, how about we do 15 seconds or so of just knees with the left? Maybe you'll join me with that. Just knees with the left. Good thing about knees is you're promoting the upright spine. You're getting some good weight shifting onto one leg. Let's do the other leg. Just knees on the right. We're almost near the end of the round. Don't you worry. Hopefully you're having some fun and not worrying. 15 seconds left. Let's switch it every time. Jab, cross, one knee. Other side. Jab, cross, one knee. Other side. Jab, cross. Good. I know I mixed up the instruction a lot there. Hopefully that felt like a little bit of a challenge to keep up with. But I always want to warn you, if it's too much, keep it simple and add to it, because there's no workout that's worth it if you're getting so frustrated that you want to stop. You know what I'm saying? So this next round, this will be our final round, I think, here. We're gonna do some uppercuts. We haven't done any today. We've done a jab, we've done a cross, we've done a bunch of hooks. The uppercut is a punch where we go from low to high. Earlier with the hook, we were reaching around. With the uppercut, it's a similar arc, but we're going from low to high. So what I want to do this round with you is back to fives. 5 front hand, 5 back hand, and then we'll alternate for 5 on each. Let's give it a shot. Uppercut, same pivot. 1, 2, 3. We're turning the hips. 4, 5. Other hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is where we get crazy. Uppercut front and back. That's 1. Front and back. That's 2. Front and back. That's 3. Front and back. 4. Front and back. 5. Let's switch stances. Front hand for 5. Big hip rotation. Backhand for 5. 4, 5, and then we're alternating hands. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Some people say, I don't want to box. It's too violent. To which I'll say, well, why not think about sending, love and compassion out into the universe with your fists? Here's some love, here's some compassion. Well, whatever works to get you moving. And we know we need that large amplitude movement. We know we need fast movement at times if you can handle it. And we know we've got to get the whole body going. So we're still doing those uppercuts. We're cruising our way through the round. We're going to alternate sides. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Don't worry, friends. We got about a minute left. We can do it. We've been pushing through 5 rounds of glorious fun today. I hope you're having a ball. And if not, don't worry. The Parkinson Foundation will get somebody else here soon, so you don't have to suffer with me too much longer. How about next up, for the remainder of the round, we can work our way from low to high with our uppercuts. We can try to go 10 of them, gradually getting a little higher each time, and 10 of them, working our way back down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're almost there. We're pushing it. And then working our way down. Still turning those hips, not leaning, but finishing strong. We've got 10 seconds left. So keep going. If you gotta slow down, that's okay. But keep moving. All right. Well, there's good news here, my friends. You've survived a lot. I'm trying to pause the music. Here we go. I am so glad that you were able to do a little bit of boxing with me today. It's definitely a passion of mine. It's something I've always loved. It's something that one of my Parkinson-related heroes, a legendary boxing coach named Freddie Roach, who, like everybody here, is closely affiliated with fighting back against Parkinson disease, because he's got it. And years ago, he talked about how boxing helped him manage his symptoms. So even when I used to fight, I'd look at that and go, wow. And it's just been such a pleasure to get to share some of that with you. If it was new, hopefully it was fun. If it was stuff you already know, hopefully it reinforced some good habits. And if I can do anything to be helpful to you or somebody you know, you can certainly find out some information at tribewellness.org. So it's tribe like a group of people, wellness.org. And you can even shoot me an email, mike@tribewellness.org. Let me know if I can be helpful. But thanks, everybody. Thank you, Annie. And thanks to the Parkinson Foundation for getting a whole bunch of opportunities and options for people to find something they want to do so they can keep doing. Give you all a fist bump to close things out. Good work today.
Thank you so much. That was a super fun workout, and we really appreciate you being here with us today. Thanks to all of you for taking time on this Friday to do something for yourselves and to stay active and to stay moving, whatever that means for you. We really appreciate you being here and hope that you will join us every Friday for Fitness Fridays. And please, if you don't mind, when the Zoom window closes, if an evaluation pops up on your screen, please do complete it. We take your feedback really seriously, and we want to make sure that our fitness programs and all of our offerings are helpful and impactful. So please do let us know how we can continue to improve. And thank you all so much for being here today. Again, my name is Annie. Please do reach out to the Parkinson's Foundation or to Dr. Mike with any questions, and have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.